Hello, welcome back to the Jacksonville History Show, the show that celebrates Jacksonville and North Florida history. And there's no better time of the year to celebrate than November and December, when there's so many historical organizations, some of them being historical organizations, holding events. And I have two representatives here. I have Adam Halstead, who is Adam Halstead, did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Who is with Springfield Improvement Association and also representing other groups today about the Springfield home tour, the holiday home tour. And also with us today is Sandy Arpin, and Sandy represents the Mandarin Museum and Historical Society. And now you're on your which number of annual Mandarin Winter Celebrations?
This is our 13th annual celebration.
I just can't believe it. I think when I talked to you earlier, I said, isn't it this year 6th or the 7th? And you said 13th.
Wow.
And what about your home tours?
This is the 26th.
Oh,
26
my
annual.
goodness. Our little gingerbread extravaganza, only 10 years old. And for many of those years, Rotary of South Jacksonville sponsored it. So you've got some great history there. In fact, let's talk about founding years of your, now you represent three organizations. But founding year, Mandarin Museum and Historical Society, do you
1990.
1990.
And Springfield Preservation was 1974.
Okay, so this is the only place I can trump you, because Jacksonville Historical Society was 1929.
Yes.
It's the only date that's older than my birth date today. So that, but very exciting to have you here, because both organizations have become so entrenched in the historic preservation movement and the history movement. And it's what I admire about both of your groups so much is the fact that this is really done by total volunteer power. All these people who care passionately about the history of their historic neighborhoods. And Sandy, we're going to start with you for a minute here. You're with the Mandarin Museum and Historical Society, and this winter celebration is such a beautiful experience. You're going to hold it on Saturday, December 1. We all have events on Saturday, December 1. And talk about it a little bit. What can people expect when they attend this?
Well, the winter celebration is really an event to bring people out into the beautiful Walter Jones Historical Park, which is Jacksonville's first historical park, and to bring families out, and we have activities there all day long for people of all ages, but I think especially for children. There are a lot of activities for children, and we want them to come out and enjoy the day and get ready for the holidays.
And the site is the Walter Jones Historical Park.
That's right.
And it runs from what time?
From 11 to 4.
And when they're there, there'll be music playing. I put a little piece up showing the musicians out in front of your wonderful greeting center and museum.
Yes, that's a picture of the Jacksonville Community Band in front of the Mandarin Museum last year. And they will kick off the celebration with patriotic and traditional holiday music. And they're an all-volunteer band, and we're really thrilled that they're coming back.
And you also have a historic farmhouse on the property. You have a historic barn on the property.
Yes, and the farmhouse, which is usually open for tours and special events, will be open that day, and there will be guides there to explain, you know, the items that are in the farmhouse. And we have some of our young reenactors that'll be there actually portraying the Jones children. There were 7 Jones children that lived in that house with Walter and Edith Jones, and we have 3 middle school age children who are going to be portraying some of the Jones children around the early 1900s. So they add a real special touch to that farmhouse.
I think Mandarin Museum and Historical Society has done more than any group in this city, save maybe the teachers with the history fair, to pull students into this world of local history and light students and ignite them about for a love of history. You really have done a magnificent job with that. And here's just another example of music on the porch.
Well, yes, I would like to mention that we're going to have music all day long. We'll have musicians singing off the front porch of the museum building during the day. Many of them are folk and traditional artists from the North Florida Folk Network that we're in partnership with, and some are going to be church choirs. We have the Mandarin Presbyterian Youth or Young People's Choir that'll be singing on the front porch of the farmhouse, followed by the Philip R. Cousins AME Church, was a historical African-American church that was founded in the late 1800s right there on Orange Picker Road and is still
Oh,
there.
my goodness.
And their choir will be singing off the porch of the farmhouse as well.
And what time can people expect to hear? Do you know the timing of
Actually,
AME and
I think
Presbyterian?
they're about 12 o'clock, yeah.
the AME and-
11:30 and then 12 o'clock, and then they'll be followed by a Harriet Beecher Stowe
Okay.
a reenactor.
And
so.
I actually have an image of the Harriet Beecher
Yes.
Stowe reenactor, Lindsay. And
Yes.
you can pronounce Lindsay's
Well, this
last
is Lindsay
name.
Schwederman
Now
Fate.
that I'm a hold
And
up.
she is a former Mandarin resident who did a book report on Harriet Beecher Stowe when she was in Loretto Elementary School. And she has been a volunteer for the museum for many, many years, portraying Harriet Beecher Stowe. And she will be speaking to the crowd at the park as Harriet Beecher Stowe. Just very special presentation.
And I think the image everyone will love seeing, and will really turn out some people when they see this next image, if we can get that up.
Yes, we have
Oh.
a wonderful hay ride through the beautiful park, and it's a hay wagon pulled by two great, beautiful Belgian draft horses.
They are
And
gorgeous horses.
the children really, really enjoy that very much. And there will be activities for the children throughout the park, face painting, making Victorian crafts, making pine cone bird feeders, just all kinds of things for them to do, learning old-fashioned games down in front of the farmhouse, just like the Jones kids would have played.
Of course, those 11 acres to just soiree through.
That's right.
Actually, you're not even soireeing, you're being horse-drawn. I mean, that's just magnificent.
right.
And if all this isn't enough to encourage people, now this is what really gets me. Everyone's a little different about what they love concerning Mandarin. I'm sorry I don't have the best stand for this,
Well,
but of course,
yeah, our
Wonderful.
oranges. And, you know,
Yeah, the
Mandarin was
citrus.
well known as a citrus king at one time in our history. And unfortunately, there are not the large groves like there used to be, but we do have a small grove on the property. The oranges are turning. That was taken just a few days ago.
Oh.
They'll be bright orange by the time of the celebration. And we will actually have there Billy and Mike Barwald, who are citrus experts on how to grow citrus in North Florida, and they will be there to answer everybody's questions about how to be successful with their orange trees. So we have to mention the oranges.
and all this is Saturday, December 1st. Now, we're going to get back to you before the show's over, but now we're going to move to Adam, because that's way out in Mandarin, way south of Jacksonville. Now we're going just slightly north of the original Jacksonville, Florida footprint, which are city limits. And of course, this is Springfield.
Absolutely.
And of course, you are the incoming president, Adam, of the Springfield Improvement Association.
Yes.
But the Springfield Home Tour, and I'm going to put your poster up, and I'll get to your poster later, Sandy, this beautiful poster of your home tour. Your tour is also,
Also, November 30th and December 1st.
so but your
There's a
tours are
lot
at
going
night.
on. The tours, the holiday tours are at night, so that we can see Springfield decked out for the holidays.
Absolutely.
Which you mentioned earlier that I'm part of 3 organizations,
Right.
which is I think a very important thing, because everybody's working together in the community to do this tour. And with that, they are putting out Luminaria, and a group of people are working on that, along with lighting up Clutho Park. They're putting 20,000 mini white lights in all of the trees along Boulevard in Clutho Park. So we have that, and some other Springfield residents have decided to take the initiative to do a Christmas tree. So the neighborhood's going to have a community Christmas tree, which is also going to be in Clutho Park, right near the bandstand. So this year we're just going to have an amazing tour. There's also 7 beautiful houses on the tour to showcase the neighborhood.
So Springfield is really going to sparkle this year. Let's take a look at one of the first houses here. Not necessarily, you can do these houses in any order
Absolutely.
when you come.
No.
So,
Yes, this is a walking, self-guided tour that starts the Carpolis, and then you can do the tour in any order that you would like.
and whose house is this? Do you know, Adam?
Yeah,
Or what street? Give us
yeah,
a little.
I believe that's on West 4th Street.
Okay, kind of
This is
difficult
all the
to see.
southwest quadrant of Springfield is primarily, so we could keep it together for the walking tour. and I believe this one is on West 4th.
And of course, everybody will get all this information when they get their tickets. And here's another real beauty. Anything
Yes.
you want to tell us
That's
about that?
1631 Silver Street. That house is special in Truman Capote's grandmother lived in this house. So it
Oh.
has an amazing history. And as we were researching the houses to do the tour book this time, it was realized that the house was actually older than what they thought. So I believe we're looking at like 1909 for this house.
So if someone forgets to get tickets, can they just walk up to a house and pay? Is that possible?
They can, they'd be referred to the Carpolis
Oh,
to get
just
the
go
tickets,
there.
and the tickets, you know, we can do that the night of the tour.
Okay.
And so if you start at one of the houses that you see on the tour, because there'll be signs out front of the homes, then you go to the Carpolis, get your program. This year it's also pretty neat because there's an interactive iPad and smartphone app that they've created. So as you
Wow.
go on the tour, you can actually see and experience the tour, the history of the houses, and that's a neat feature that's new to this tour.
So the historical societies and groups are moving into the 21st century. Just
Absolutely.
take your little phone and you can hear so much more about the house. Well, most
Absolutely.
homeowners let you go upstairs as well. Some are up, some...
Some are up, some are down, but most of our homeowners this time are the complete
Wow.
home. So
How exciting.
This is a really nice tour where everybody's just opening up their entire home.
And people who are viewing now should know the Carpolis Museum is not far from any of these locations.
No,
so
it's
just
right
come on
there.
out and get
Absolutely.
your tickets there. And I just can't, this will be the prettiest night. And what's so great about this, people can go down to the Mandarin event in a winter
Yes.
celebration Saturday during the day, and then get their cup of hot chocolate, get a little steam, and head to your event as it turns into dusk.
Absolutely.
And your event starts
And
at what time?
it starts at 5. It's from
Okay.
5 to 9. We're selling tickets 5 to 9, but then it will go as late as people are on the tour. So if there's people that purchase their tickets at 9, you know, they're not limited to the time that they're on the tour. You know, we'll stay open so that all the homes will stay open so that they can attend.
Right, and then of course Friday evening is another option as
Yes.
well. So you've got Friday, Saturday evening. Sandy is just Saturday during the day, beginning
11 o'clock.
11 to, okay, 11
11 to
o'clock.
4.
11 to 4. And of course my event with all the dueling events opens that day, but they have until December 22nd to come
Yes.
to attend mine. So I say catch some of these.
Absolutely.
And then hit ours in between. And ours is even open during the weekday, every day but Sunday.
That's
So that's
terrific.
exciting. Let's take a look at another Springfield home.
And,
On the tour,
Yes, and that
actually
one I
on the
believe is
tour.
on that Pearl Street, I believe.
On Pearl
On
Street.
Street.
And what a beauty.
And the people have just, everybody's putting up their Christmas stuff and getting in the mood and the holiday stuff to showcase the neighborhood. Everybody's just, that is Pearl Street. I recognize the house now the more that to look at them. And the owners were so excited about putting their house on tour. They recently moved to Springfield, and they're just a great new
So these people are new to Jacksonville.
They're new to Jacksonville, and they mentioned to somebody about, you know, putting their house on the tour, and I think it was within 24 hours. It was, you know, the commitment was there, and it was very exciting.
And that's what I
And,
love about the Springfield neighborhood. There's so much camaraderie.
Absolutely.
They care so deeply about the neighborhood and redevelopment and restoration, and it's just fun. I know I get invited
It
to
is.
a party over there every holiday, and oh,
It's
just the
it's
spirit
a wonderful
is
community, and just everybody's just so nice to one another and so nice to people coming in. It's just a great time to get together and celebrate the holiday season.
And we'll show even a couple more here. We may not get to every single one, but you
That
see
one is important. The one that you were just had your hand on, one of the last ones there is very important because it goes along with you were speaking of the Merrill House, and this is
Oh.
the Stevens House.
Oh, well, let me
And,
get, I'll get
so
this up
when
on
you
the,
get that,
for the
get to
screen.
that one.
This is the Stevens. So at Merrill Shipyards, as in Merrill Stevens
As in Merrill
Shipyards.
Stevens, and this is Arthur Stevens' house.
And don't you live in that
I live in that house.
Oh, my goodness. And you put it on the tour.
Put that on the tour.
So
that
you're
will be on
chairing the tour And your house is on the tour.
Touring
That
the tour,
is a little
yes.
stressful.
Yes, we've got a lot going on.
Tell me real quickly the other organizations involved other than Springfield Improvement Association.
There's the Springfield Heritage Education Center and Springfield Preservation and Revitalization, better known as SPAR.
And one more time, tell me if you want to get tickets ahead of time, you can get them where?
At springfieldhometour.org.
Perfect.
And you can also get them at various organizations throughout Jacksonville, and those are on the website as well.
And I'd like to show, I want to get back to Sandy for just a minute because she has a beautiful poster that showcases her winter celebration down in Mandarin. And here it is. So if you weren't excited before, you'll get excited now because Jacksonville was so known for its citrus at a point in time. Mandarin, of course, named for a citrus. It went through many names, but that was the name that really did stick and is so appropriate. At one point, citrus from Mandarin was shipped up north by Harriet Beecher Stowe, a 15-year winter resident, only a stone's throw from where this winter celebration takes place.
That's right. That's right. And our museum features much information about Harriet Beecher Stowe, as well as the Civil War steamship Maple Leaf.
Now, would you like to add anything? I know you've got some other events coming up other than winter celebration.
Well, we've got two very quickly.
Okay.
November 15th, we will have a lecture at the Mandarin Community Club. We're in partnership with them for our Third Thursday lectures. And that lecture is by Dr. John Foster, who will be speaking about his new book, which is called Calling Yankees to Florida, Harriet Beecher Stowe's Forgotten Tourist Articles.
Okay.
And he has found some articles that she wrote and sent to the north while she was living in Mandarin that are not in Palmetto Leaves. And so this is a new edition of her writings. And then on December 8th, following the winter celebration, the next Saturday, we will be hosting a fundraiser, which is our very first auction on the grounds, open public auction on the grounds of Mandarin Museum and Historical Society.
What are the hours of the auction?
That will be starting at 11 o'clock on Saturday, December 8th. And we will have many, many articles there. You can get information off of our website and the link to the Auction Zip website, which actually shows articles as they come in. So it's going to be a large public auction to raise funds to help support the museum and the park.
Sandy, I want to thank you for being here. Adam, I wish we could talk more about Springfield's history as Mandarin's history too. It's just, we'll have to have you both back. In the meantime, I'm going to beg people, enjoy these fabulous events these volunteers have put together for you. The winter celebration in Mandarin, the Springfield Holiday Home Tour, and of course, come to the Gingerbread Extravaganza. We've loved sharing some history with you today. And for now, that's all, folks, because we're history. Thanks for being here.